Greetings and thank you for watching. With this video, I'm celebrating 500 subscriptions. Thank you so much. In a little bit over a year, I would like to think that that's some kind of record. I'm sure it's not, but anyways, I really appreciate your support of my channel. A couple of reminders, maybe obvious ones, but sometimes it is good to state the obvious. One, this is a bilingual channel by design, where English and Spanish get the same importance, are equally important to me. Although Spanish is my native language, and of course I love it, I have grown very fond of English, which I think is, in its own way, a beautiful language. So that's one thing, and I have been sort of alternating videos, one in Spanish, one in English, and I try each one to be about um, books written originally or translated directly into these two languages. Um, Although the vast majority of the books of my personal library are in English. And that takes me to the second obvious point, that the main motivation of this channel was to talk about the books in my personal library, which are printed books. In this day and age of digital content, I thought fitting to stop for a moment occasionally and remember how things used to be. There was no digital content not long ago. But of course, there are ecological questions. How many trees had to be sacrificed in order to print all these books? Yes, that's a very important question. But don't think for a moment that digital contents are more ecological. They are not necessarily, because the carbon footprint of computers around the world is huge, right? So having said that, let me get to it. Today, I want to talk about this book by Moritz Schlick, General Theory of Knowledge, originally published in German in 1925 by Springer, and then translated into English by Bloomberg, or the translator, um, by yes, Albert Bloomberg. And this edition is by Open Court, was published by Open Court, LaSalle, Illinois. And it has an introduction by Bloomberg himself, and Feigl, Herbert Feigl, was one of the members of the group that Moritz Schlick founded, which is the famous Vienna Circle. And the introduction by Feigl and Bloomberg starts thus. Moritz Schlick, 1882-1936, is best known as the founder and guiding genius of the Vienna Circle of Logical Positivists. He was indeed the center, quote, quote, double quote, of the famed circle. So this is Moritz Schlick definitive writing on his theory of knowledge that was very influential in what eventually became logical positivism. By this time, by the time of the publication of this book, the movement known as logical positivism was beginning. So there are a lot of details, of course, that I have to skip. But the first part, the book begins with this part: the nature of knowledge. Very, very important question. And there are some fascinating phrases, like, for example, just as behavior, and I quote, just as behavior does not require familiarity with physiology, is right there. So scientific knowledge does not in principle depend for its existence on the theory of knowledge. I would qualify on a scientific theory of knowledge, which he believes is very important. Another phrase, it says, Helmholtz stressed that any scientific problem will lead us to philosophy if only we pursue the problem far enough. And so on and so forth. There are there's a lot of good stuff in this book, and I highly recommend it. I'm sure that you can find it in digital form or in printed form. See you next time. Take care and be well.